What causes economies to grow? Adam Smith was one individual that was concerned with the causes of prosperity. Smith wrote a book in 1776 titled An Inquiry into the Nature and Causes of the Wealth of Nations that discussed how free markets, the protection of private property, and minimal government influence led to economic growth and prosperity. Smith had argued that the prosperity was a result of a competitive market. He advocated for low taxes and low tariffs to promote individual trade in hopes of creating economic growth. Following the Smith arguments was an individual by the name of David Ricardo, who argued for free trade to promote prosperity. Smith, Ricardo, and many others like them influenced a reduction in government intervention during the 19th century, which was an era of unprecedented economic growth. Soon after the Great Depression, with worries high about another possible depression, mainstream economists argued for increases to government intervention to manage the economy. While economic growth was still a priority in developed and undeveloped countries, it had declined in importance relative to macroeconomic stability. Following the recommendation of some of the most prominent economists of the time period, many developed countries encouraged central planning, capital investment, and development of modern technology. The views of Adam Smith had recognized how allowing an invisible hand to work would allocate resources effectively if allowed to work within an economically free environment. In this scenario, the economy would attract investments and provide the incentive for workers to obtain necessary skills and technological advancement. Throughout recent history, nations such as the Soviet Union, China, and India have lagged behind others vastly developing societies due to the refusal to adopt the market system and advocate for economic freedom. This is why countries like Japan, Taiwan, South Korea, Hong Kong, and Singapore began to prosper after advocating for economic freedom. Political freedom does not equal economic freedom, as explained purely by the lack of evidence that democracy makes no contribution to prosperity. Evidence shows that economic freedom without political freedom can encourage economic growth, but political freedom without economic freedom cannot encourage economic growth. Although there is evidence that economic freedom can lead to nations with higher incomes that tend to be more democratic. The evidence displayed in Chapter 19 of When We're Free, written by Randall G. Holcombe, economic freedom is a requirement for economic growth.